Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to 5 Things We Learned, the show where I go through all the major talking points from the previous England game. But before we get into today's video, guys, please make sure you smash the likes on this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and leave your thoughts in the comments below if you agree or disagree with anything I've said in this video. And can England win the World Cup? Let me know in the comments. And England concluded their Group B campaign with a comfortable 3-0 win against Wales. 2 goals for Marcus Rashford and 1 goal for Phil Foden, rounding out a comfortable evening for Gareth Southgate's boys. And they finished top of the group with 7 points and qualify for the last 16 along with the US. And England will face Senegal in the last 16 on Sunday afternoon, what will be a very tough game. But back to tonight's game against Wales, Gareth Southgate made 4 changes from the side that drew 0-0 against the US. Kyle Walker came in at right back for his first minutes of the tournament. Phil Foden came in for his first start. We also had Marcus Rashford starting for his first start of the tournament, and Jordan Henderson came into the midfield. And one of those changes is going to be my first talking point tonight, and that is the form of Marcus Rashford. 2 goals tonight, 1 exceptional free kick, which opened the scoring. And he also finds himself as the top joint top goal scorer in the World Cup on 3 goals, alongside Cody Gakpo, Enner Valencia, and I believe Kylian Mbappe as well. I don't think many people would have had Marcus Rashford down for 3 goals in 3 games in the group. I personally didn't think he was going to feature that much in the tournament itself. Thought he was borderline lucky to be in the squad, but I'm happy to be proven wrong. And he's proving to be a very valuable asset for England in this World Cup, off the bench against Iran to score. And then 2 goals tonight with a well-deserved start, even though I probably felt that Jack Grealish was slightly hard done by not to start ahead of him. Rashford, I think, was in for his pace, and he was fantastic tonight. And he has, he's stepped up and he's delivered. And it's going to be interesting to see kind of what part he plays going forwards in this tournament, whether he's just going to be a bit of an impact player from the bench or whether he can make a difference from the start. But on Marcus Rashford, his numbers tonight were exceptional. 50 touches, 4 ground duels won, 4 shots on target, 3 dribbles completed, 2 goals, and he completed 1 long 100% off his long balls, even though there was only 1 that he did. And as I said, he is the top goal scorer joint in the World Cup at the moment. And it's quite a bit of a re-emergence to form, particularly in an England shirt for Marcus Rashford. Obviously, missed one of those penalties in the Euros final. Had a difficult season for Man United last season. Missed out on the England squads in the build-up to this tournament, but he's had a really good start to the season for Manchester United. Got his way into the squad, and he's taken his opportunity with both hands. And it's given the manager a really difficult decision to make, because Raheem Sterling and Bukayo Saka were both rested tonight, drops, rotated, whatever you want to call it. Rashford came in and did a really good job. And, it's going to be, that kind of leads me onto my next point, is that Southgate's got a massive selection headache for Senegal. Like, what's he going to do? Because he's got Raheem Sterling on the bench, who is his kind of tried and tested, his go-to guy. He's done it time and time again in an England shirt, performed on a big stage, performed in big tournaments for England, but it's not in the best of form at all. Hasn't played that well in the World Cup either. He's having a terrible season for Chelsea. And then you've got Marcus Rashford, who's banging form, just scored 2 goals against Wales. And you've got to be thinking to yourselves, well, Rashford has to start this game against Senegal. And it's kind of given Southgate a big headache, as has Phil Foden, who played really well tonight. I thought he showed glimpses of the exceptional talent that he is, the way that he carries the ball, the way that he takes players on. He's direct. Great finish for his goal, right place at the right time at the back stick. And so kind of my next point really is that of Southgate given a selection headache, because, as I said, Rashford, Foden, even Jordan Henderson to an extent came in tonight and did a solid job, did a good job. I'm not saying that Henderson is going to by any means start against Senegal. I think more of the selection headache for Southgate is what he's going to do with that front line, because is he just going to bring Sterling and Saka back in, or is he going to go with Foden and Rashford, which I think he probably should. But for me, Rashford has to start against Senegal ahead of Sterling. Saka, you could argue, could come back in. You could maybe put Foden into one of those midfield positions potentially, but yeah, the kind of the performances of Rashford and Foden particularly have given Southgate a big headache going forward, because we know that he really likes Mason Mount as well. He was rested, dropped tonight. And you would expect him to be in contention to come back into the lineup. So, yeah, Southgate's got a few big decisions to make in regards to the team for Senegal on Sunday. And those performances, particularly, as I said, from Marcus Rashford and Phil Foden, are going to have given him a headache. But it's a really nice decision to have. And it's going to be really interesting to see what he ends up going with. And that kind of brings me on to my third point in Harry Kane. And Harry Kane kind of rounded out the group stage campaign, came off just before the hour mark or around the hour mark, half an hour of rest, much needed, played a lot of football for Tottenham, played a lot of football in this World Cup so far as well. So good to give him a rest ahead of the knockout rounds. But yeah, Harry Kane, no goals in the group stage. And you think, oh, that's a little bit of a concern for England, but actually not at all, because Harry Kane proving that he is more than just goals. He's got 3 assists so far at this World Cup. No player has got more assists to him. And he's shown that kind of he's got a bit more to his game than just sticking it in the back of the net. He is creative. He does drop deep. He does get the ball, and he does create for the side. And he's, as I said, he's picked up 3 assists. And it just goes to show that, he's not just in the team for scoring goals. Yes, fantastic if he can do that. But if I said to you that Harry Kane hadn't scored at all in the group stage, you'd be thinking, oh God, he's not having a very good tournament. But the fact of the matter is that he's still contributing in ways to the team. He's chipping in with assists. He works hard. He's the focal point. He's the captain. And whether he's scoring goals or not, he does have to be in this side at the moment. You can't not play him. Because he's added more bows to his arrow in terms of now he does actually create things. He's not just a pure goal scorer. I mean, personally, I would like to see him not come deep for the ball as often as he does. I'd just like to see him stay up in the penalty box, be that kind of fox in the box striker. But that's not really him. He does like to drop deep. He does like to create, and I don't think you can complain too much. Yes, it would be great if Kane had scored, but ultimately, he's making a big contribution to the team, and he's showing what a fantastic all-round player he is. And there is, as I said, much more to his game than just scoring goals. So it'll be Southgate will be happy with him. Kane, on a personal note, will be disappointed he's not scored, but I think he'll be happy that he's contributing to the teams in other ways. And there's by no means any concerns from my end about the fact that Harry Kane's not scored, because he's contributing to the team in an important way through assists and his all-round gameplay. I just wanted to head on to my sort of fourth point now, and that is of Phil Foden. I felt he took his opportunity tonight really well. I did touch on him briefly earlier, but I just wanted to go into it in a bit more detail. Getting his first start, for me, England's most talented player that they've got at the moment. Possibly for me, the best English player since Wayne Rooney emerged. Could he arguably be the most talented since Gaza even? This is the sort of company that he's in. He's been nurtured into a world-class talent by Pep Guardiola at Manchester City. Gets his opportunity from the off against Wales, and he grabs it with both hands. He got on the score sheet. I felt he did really well starting on that right-hand side. And, he does what he does best. He's skillful. He gets the ball. He advances the ball well. Range of passing, fantastic. And he definitely grabbed his opportunity with 2 hands. And, I almost feel now that he has forced his way into this England starting lineup. And that means that Southgate has to change his personnel, has to change his plans slightly. Then so be it, because Phil Foden, for me, has proven tonight that he is too good a player to not be in this England starting lineup. So there has to be a way to fit him in, whether that's in the front line, whether that's as a number 8, more of an attacking midfielder as part of that midfield 3, then so be it. But Phil Foden has got to be fitted into this England lineup. He simply has to be. And it's as simple as that. So it's up to Southgate now to find a way to fit him in and to play him, because England are an infinitely better side with Phil Foden in it than without him in it. So yeah, let's see what happens. Hopefully he maintains his place against Senegal in the last 16, but that's the decision for ultimately the manager to make, for Gareth Southgate to decide what's best for that game. But what's best for England for me is if Phil Foden's in the starting lineup. It's as simple as that. And I just wanted to round out with my fifth and final point, and that is of the performance of the centre-backs and how strong England are looking defensively. At the moment, we're looking really, really good in terms of how he defends. I mean, John Stones and Harry Maguire having outstanding tournaments, particularly Maguire, who's not been in favour at Manchester United at all. A lot of people saying it was a big gamble from Southgate to show that faith in him, to put him in the England starting lineup, given the fact he's played virtually no football for Manchester United. He's not in good form at club level. But in fairness, Maguire has always delivered in an England shirt more times than not at international level. Southgate trusts him, and he's repaying that faith, and he's looking like a really good defender. And we know he can defend well. We know he can be a good defender, but at club level, it's just not happening for him. But as soon as he puts that England shirt on, he seems to perform really well. And the partnership of him and Stones, complement each other really nicely. Only 2 goals let in the group stages, one a penalty right at the end against Iran, and one a mistake that he was actually at fault for. What was a good finish by Taremi. So England looking really strong defensively, and that's a big part down to Stones and Maguire. Dangerous from set pieces. They defend well as a unit. The fullbacks play their part as well. So England are looking a really, really good defensive unit, and we don't actually look like conceding any goals either, which is a massive, massive plus. But yeah, guys, that rounds out my 5 points. As I said at the start of the video, if you're still here, thanks for tuning in. Please do smash the likes. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and leave your thoughts in the comments below on this video, and if you think England can win the World Cup. And I'll catch you again soon.